It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker. Yo, man. What's happening? Well, cool. I don't know he's introduced. I might save an introduction for later. Sometimes I like to do the introductions. I do a prequel where it is, sometimes it might be like this last week, the prequel was a video of short clip of Pete and Pete, which of course means that I was going to have nothing until, well, this episode, no, I released today. Which is not today, which is today.
Whenever this is released.
Whenever this is recording, there is episode being released.
So you're releasing an episode at today, the day we are recording this right now?
Yes, and this one will be released next week.
Okay. Alright.
This is it's going to get into some weird...
Some meta stuff.
Some weird meta stuff here.
Time travel, almost.
Yeah, this is time travel, because... Well, this isn't like... When I started, I had 10... I wanted to get 10 backlog before I started releasing them.
That's smart.
Yeah, and so then that case, when I moved away for about, I think it was 8 or 9 weeks, and I started right when I got back, but I think I got those 10. I got those 10 finished, and then I just sat on them and I started releasing them like a month after, but I had those 10, but then it took me a little while. I was really on top of it. I tried to stay around having 10 in the can, and that lasted
10 weeks?
Maybe 10 weeks. 10 weeks, and then I got down to some of the past ones where I had a minute. Some of them were about 5 seconds, but then I had some that were 4 hours long.
Wait, 5 seconds?
5 seconds. I had one podcast, I think it was 9 seconds. And I went up to my buddy, returning guest, who is a guy on the show a lot, because he's a returning guest.
Right,
and,
makes sense.
So it was 9 seconds, and I said, "So, do you want to record a podcast today?" And he says, "No, I just feel like you're really bum rushing me." And I said, "Okay," and that was the end of the podcast. I think that was one of my favorite podcasts I've ever recorded.
It kind of sounds like guerrilla journalism.
It was guerrilla journalism, and he had the right to say no, but he okayed putting it up there because it was...
All right. As long as he's okay with it, it's all right.
Yeah, it wasn't a podcast, but I guess I could take the prequel and introduce you, or I can have you. You can even do a video. I like to do videos usually. I think last time, 2 weeks ago or something, we were in the car at one point. We were driving somewhere, and I said, like, listen to the podcast, or something like that. And then I think I can hear a couple people in the car say something on it in the background. Might have stole your voice without
my consent?
Without your consent.
You used my voice without my consent? I don't know how I feel about this, Rusty.
Yeah, this is bad. I shouldn't have told you that.
I feel a little violated right now.
I don't know if you can hear your voice.
Wait, when did this happen?
When we were driving somewhere. It was a Friday, and we were driving...
I assume to Canada?
Probably to Canada.
Or somewhere in Canada?
Or somewhere in Canada. It might have been a Thursday. I think it was a Friday. But I had the camera pointed at me, and then I think Crystal said something. I think Crystal said, "What are you doing?" or something.
Was I drugged? Did you date rape me?
Yes.
Date guerrilla journalism me?
Yes. How else am I supposed to get people to be on my podcast?
I mean, I guess that explains why I'm here all chained up and I was just gagged until just now.
Well, you can at least be thankful for me taking off the gag.
I appreciate being able to
know,
speak now. That's nice.
Chains will come off once it's over.
All right. Okay.
You know, I gotta have at least something, you know, to make everything work out okay.
In all reality, I kind of feel kind of cozy right now.
It is, man. I have the heater going for you, man. I brought you some hot cocoa to go and complement those energy drinks.
Yeah.
Because cocoa and energy drinks is
the perfect mixture.
Yeah, I've always been a fan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so here's the dealio.
Tell me the dealio.
Today, I was watching television.
Whoa.
I know.
Whoa.
Television.
All right. I'll try to stay with you. You're a little ahead of my game, but...
Okay. Well, it's sort of television. It was... I meant to watch it, and I was going to catch it partway through, but I was watching it on the cable.
Oh, wow. Retro.
Yeah, on the cable.
With your VCR recording.
The VCR recording.
The tape.
Yeah, and it was... I went and it started back. I was able to start it over, not knowing I could do that.
Oh, wow. Okay, so... You're watching on your cable.
One of those things.
And you rewound the show.
Yeah, it just went and rewound it for me and started from the beginning.
All right.
Went to the on demand and I was blown away.
And then magic happened.
Magic happened. And that's sort of what this was about. This was about the Atari. I was watching this. It was a documentary about Atari, and apparently there was this myth that that the worst game ever that was made was...
E.T. the Extra-Terrestrial.
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
Alright, I have feelings about this. So, I assume you watched the whole documentary then?
I did.
Okay.
Have you?
I haven't watched any documentaries, but I've done a lot of research into it because it's so fascinating to me. I don't know how many people actually listen to this. Do people listen to this?
There might be like 2 or 3.
For you, 2 or 3 people out there. I'm not doubting your viewership. I'm sure.
No, that is. I've seen the numbers. These are YouTube views.
For those of you out there who don't know, the E.T. the Extraterrestrial was a game that it's dubbed as the worst game ever of all time.
Yeah.
And it's held responsible for the video game crash of the 1980s that almost killed video games as an industry to begin with, and it caused Nintendo to have to market the NES as a entertainment system and not a video game system, as more of a toy. That's why they included the Rob robot, the little like chink robot thing, you know? Have you ever played Super Smash Bros?
Oh yeah.
For the Wii?
Yeah.
There's a little robot guy who can shoot lasers and stuff.
Okay.
It was originally like a little toy that came with the NES.
Oh.
You plugged him in and you could control him. And
I had no clue.
That is how Nintendo was able to sell so many of the NES systems, Nintendo Entertainment Systems, because they marketed it as a toy by including that robot. And that's kind of what kickstarted video games into being popular again.
That's amazing.
And
you went way more into this than I thought. That is killer.
I'm super fascinated by the video game crash. And then obviously there was the thing about them dumping all the video games in the desert. What was it, in Arizona or something?
In New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah.
And they just recently dug them up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what most of this was about.
Okay.
That's freaking blowing my mind, man. But it was the myth was that it was just the E.T. game because the E.T. game was the one that apparently crashed it.
Mm-hmm.
But when they open it up, like it was... Spoiler alert?
Or go ahead, I'll take it.
So,
Take
okay.
spoilers.
So, it was only like 10% of all the stuff that was in there. I mean, there was...
so there was more in there.
There was tons of... Like, every game, even like the popular games...
I had no idea.
Yeah, and so like the guy who made the E.T. game, he was one of the people that was in this documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And he made Yar's Revenge, which was one of the first, but it was like, and what was the other one? I think he did Adventure, and though like every game that he did were like the ones that sold over 1 million copies, and they were the best ones. But he said that they were taking about 5 months to program and create the full game.
Right.
And so with E.T., they came at him they had already done Raiders of the Lost Ark
Mm-hmm.
video game, and so they're going to do E.T. And so the guy who runs the company, who runs Atari, calls up this programmer and says, "Can you program this game in 5 weeks and go in?" So take what you have, take it to Steven Spielberg, pitch it for him,
Mm-hmm.
and see if he likes it. And so they fly him out there to Spielberg, and Spielberg likes it, and he's like, he wants it to be a lot like Pac-Man. And so the programmer says, that's been done, let's do something new. And so he creates this game in 5 weeks. Spielberg likes it, he thinks it's great, and they wanted to release it in 5 weeks so they can have it for Christmas.
Makes sense.
And then, that's like the first time that people start returning games was because of E.T.
Oh, yeah.
And so then a lot of people returned them, and then that just kind of went to the whole downfall of...
the great video game crash of 1980 something.
1983, man.
83?
83. I was just a wee little kid, man, and E.T. had just come out, man.
Did you have it?
E.T.?
Yeah.
The video game.
Yeah, did you have the game?
Yes, I did.
You did?
I have it actually still. It's up my Atari is up at Government Camp right now. Actually, it might be in West Lynn. It's either Government Camp or at West Lynn at my friend's house. So we can still get it. I have a crap load of games if you ever want to play.
You have no idea how much you just blew my mind. I've been wanting to play E.T. for so long.
Oh, yeah.
I want to play it so bad.
I'll call up my buddy then, and I'll ask him where it is, and I can get it. At least by the time that he gets back, comes and visits, I'll get it, or else I'll just go over to his house, or if it's up in Mount Hood, figure out a way to get it. But
Can I buy it from you?
E.T. or the whole system?
Maybe the whole system. Specifically E.T. because I want it for
Yeah.
my collection.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll talk numbers later.
Yeah. You might have to,
I'll do some
mortgage some stuff, do some favors.
Yeah, I'll do whatever it takes, man.
I might have to, put you out on the street for a bit, but...
I will be your indentured servant for that game.
Okay, well, that sounds good.
And or sex slave, whatever
Perfect.
you prefer.
Yes, and this is good. I knew E.T., man. It's all about that...
It's all about the touch.
The touch, man.
The touch.
E.T. with the touch.
I need to get some of those fingers.
I think you should, man.
I really do.
Well, I think... Well, so, I guess, now that it's over... it's not over, but I can introduce you now.
Oh, right.
So, I was going to introduce you later, or on the prequel, but, I figure I'll get in there, because you might have a reoccurring, space on here, man.
I would not mind that.
That's cool. So, this is Nick. Nick.
Me.
Nick.
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 Nick
Radford.
Exactly.
The wrestler.
That's me. Nick Radford dash.
Dash.
Or Nick Radford space space. The wrestler is my full name. Full proper given to me by my parents.
That was nice of them.
It's actually a family name. It goes back to the days of the ancient rule of Radford dash the wrestler in ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
You probably don't hear much about him. He's got one of the smaller pyramids.
Oh, it's it's kind of the building 7 of the World Trade Center, as you may, or more like the building 9.
It's kind of like, it's just his pyramid. It's it's kind of underground. Like, you might not have heard of it.
Oh, this.
It's the trendy pyramid.
The trendy pyramid, not quite unearthed yet, man.
No, exactly.
Or unearthed
It's
only
not
by a select
mainstream yet.
few, but they keep it on the down low.
Yeah, they try to keep it on the down low. It's pretty exclusive.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So I try to stay true to that.
And you're doing a good job of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so, that's the show, man. You want to say anything? You can say this. anything if you want.
Anything if I want. Also, I love your faces.
It's Rusty Diamond, motherfucker.